Good evening. Hey guys, I'm trying to see who's on. Hi Sam. I'm about to start reading from my son's CID investigation. I was just gonna wait for a few more people to join in. So. I hope you're having a good evening. About to read from my son's CID investigation. Working on just kind of putting all the pieces together, and I have a document here that I have that I'm kind of organizing thoughts, and I've been working on it for about a year now. It's an act of love, but it is necessary. So I really appreciate you guys for joining in with me this evening. I am about to read out of my son's CID investigation. So this document right here came to me. The CID investigation came to me on September the 15th of 2020, which is January, February. Well, like 8 months after Caleb died, I finally got this investigation. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this down just a little bit. So here we go. Dear Ms. Baker, this is in further response to your request for a release of information from the files of the U.S. Army Criminal Investigation Command, USA CIDC, and referred documents from the IMCOM pertaining to the death of your son, PB2 Caleb G. Smither. Your request has been assigned, and they give a control number. The enclosed law enforcement report, and they give a law enforcement report number, is responsive to both requests. The names of the law enforcement personnel, as well as names of social security numbers and other personal items of information of third parties, are withheld pursuant to FOIA exemptions 6 and 7. They give the number, which protect the personal privacy of other individuals mentioned in the report. So what they're trying to tell us here, folks, is that they are redacting all of the names and the information of all of the people that are involved in Caleb's negligent homicide and medical malpractice. We also applied exemption B, 7E, to withhold the identification numbers of special agents as well. Well, I understand maybe numbers, special agent numbers, but like, come on, give us the names, right? Come on. Like in the civilian world, we get the names. So to withhold the identification number of special agents, as well as investigatory records of information compiled for law enforcement purposes, where the techniques or procedures for law enforcement investigations or prosecutions would be disclosed. Moreover, disclosing the withheld information would harm an interest protected by the exemptions. God, they try to make it so confusing. It's like you just stare at this document and you're like, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards. What kind of bamboozling is this? This letter contains a partial denial of your request made on behalf of the commanding general. The initial denial authority for the USA CIDC. You have the right to appeal to the Office of the Army General Counsel, the Army's appellate authority. If you decide to appeal at this time, your appeal must be submitted within 90 days of the date of this letter. In your appeal, you must state the basis of your disagreement with the partial denial, and you should state the justification for its release. Your appeal is made through the center and should be addressed to the Director, U.S. Army Criminal Record Center. Forwarding to the Office of the Army General Counsel, please note that your appeal should address information denied in this response and cannot be used to make a new request for additional or new information. Please be advised, portions of this report did not originate with this agency. Your USA CIDC is not the releasing authority for the documents in question. Therefore, your request and the documents have been referred to the following agencies for appropriate action and direct reply to you. Exhibits 30 through 33, 39, and 48 have been referred to U.S. Army Medical Command. Attention, Privacy Act and Freedom of Information Office. It gives the address. Exhibits 42 and 45 have been referred to for the Armed Forces Medical Examiner. Graphic photographs are being withheld to spare you further suffering. And you know what I said? I said, let me have them. I want the pictures. Graphic pictures have been withheld. No. To spare you further suffering. No. You're gonna cause me further suffering if you don't give me the photographs like I am requesting. I alone can tell you what I can handle. I read a little note here that says, I want to see. If you have any questions about how the investigation was conducted, please call Mr. Guy Surian. And it gives his phone number and all that. And Jennifer Pellegrini. Or you may write to the Office of the Deputy Chief or Staff of Operations, USA CIDC. You have the right to seek dispute resolution concerning this release. If you intend to do so, you may contact the U.S. Army Criminal Investigation Command, Crime Record Center FOIA Public Liaison, Miss Mitchell Cardelis at U.S. Army, gives the address. Please put dispute in the subject line. You may also seek dispute resolution services by contacting the Office of Government Information Services. Blah, blah. Phone numbers, email addresses. If you have any questions regarding this response, it should be provided in writing to the Crime Record Center at the address shown on the letterhead, or by the calling, and they give this number, or deputy. I'm sorry. We are deeply. Sorry, goodness sakes. Start over. Our deepest sympathy is with you and your family on the loss of your loved one. Sincerely, Chester B. Longcore, Director, Crime Records Center. And of course, I immediately requested the photos that were supposed to be in the CID investigation that did not show up with the CID investigation. And I was like, where are the photos? I can't believe that they decided not to include the photos. I did get Caleb's photos, and I will, I guess I don't have it with this right here. I wonder if I did actually add it in here. Let me see. I'll have to look in a minute. Maybe we'll get to that and I'll see. But so his photos did end up coming because I did request his photos, and they did end up sending them to me. But they were all in black and white, and so I kind of find that a little shady, if you ask me. Especially when I look at the photograph of him laying on the floor of his bedroom, and there's this huge puddle underneath his body that looks to me really dark. And my question is that decomposition fluid or is that blood? Well, there's no way of knowing for me if there's not a photograph that I can really digest and look at, or have somebody else digest and look at. No, I don't desire to look at my son's dead body. I don't. But I didn't ask to be chosen for this position either. I didn't ask to be a Gold Star mom. It just kind of happened, and now I'm picking up the task at hand to protect our soldiers. Carrying on. This is September the 15th of 2020. This is 8 months after Caleb died, that I'm receiving this document. So, memorandum for CID distribution. It's the subject is law enforcement report. It's interesting because it says offense right here, which I thought was really offensive, to be honest. They said offense. What? That's what I said. What the fuck? Why are they saying that his offense was colon A, undetermined death, none, dash, no criminal act. B, death by natural cause, none, no criminal act. So the offense was, I guess they're saying, was none. That there was no offense, I guess. But God, why is he under investigation? Good gracious. It's almost like when they write offense and then put that, it's like almost, it hits you as a mom. I'm sorry. Reading this. I'm reading this with you guys because I really find it hard to read by myself. It's very hard for me to read this by myself. So I'm reading it to you guys. Okay, so it just says dates, times, locations of occurrences. January the 21st gives the time, 1450. Gives the room number, 318A, Building C, 5631. I don't know how to say that name. Ardena Street, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. The date and time reported was 1450 on the 21st of January of 2020. And then it gives the end, it says investigated by redaction. Subjects, death by natural causes. Victims, Smither, Caleb Grant, deceased. PV2 redaction, age 19, male, white, E Company, 37th Brigade, Engineer Battalion, 2nd Brigade, Combat Team, 82nd Airborne Division, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. And they're again saying death by natural causes. Yeah, so I request the photographic packet of the death scene because they basically omitted that from the investigation. And I had a WTF moment at that point. Again! So many. But this is 8 months after Caleb has passed away. And by the way, it took me a while to read this report. Because, I mean, it took me several weeks to be able to get up the courage to sit and read this thing. And I actually sat and read it with another friend of mine, and it was very helpful. I've noticed that it's been very helpful if I can just sit with somebody and they can sit next to me and I can read this investigation. And so that's why I'm so grateful that I get to do this with you guys, and I am going to be putting this on YouTube and many other social media platforms so that you can find it later. So, number 7, report summary, first corrected final. This report was generated to correct Exhibit 13. I'm like, what the heck is Exhibit 13? You know, I'm looking in here. Exhibit 13, where is it, you know? Exhibit 13. I know I've come across it. I wonder if it's one of the heading pages. Let's see here. Gosh. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think it said Exhibit 13, I believe. It said this report was generated to correct Exhibit 13, so I'm looking for Exhibit 13 now. And this is how I've had to do this report. I mean, and then, you know, I do a lot of research otherwise, if it need be. To call bullshit, you know? I mean, God bless. Okay, that's an Exhibit 6. Sorry, I'm just like really curious right now what Exhibit 13 is. I just need to refresh my memory. It might be the pictures that were withheld. Let me see here. That's Exhibit 12. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Here it is. Withheld duplicate exhibit of 12. Duplicate exhibit 12. Yeah, this is a picture of him on the floor. Well, it's not a picture. It's like a diagram. Let me see if... So what was 12 then? Because it's 13 said that it was a duplicate. Graphic photos. withheld graphic photos. Yeah, so yeah, and it's interesting. Some of the drawings look so different than they all look. They vary. I'll show you some of them as we go. I just wanted to check and see what. In fact, let me write that as a note real quick because I know Exhibit 13. What is it? It is the withheld photos. Things doctored up. Okay. Let's see. I put some of these in sleeves because I have written a lot of notes on them and I didn't want to put holes in them. Oh my goodness. This office was notified by an automatic telegraphic alert system of a deceased soldier found in on-post barracks. Major so-and-so, that means redaction, Major Redaction, Commander Military Police Station, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, reported PB2 Smither was found unresponsive on the floor of his barracks. Major so-and-so advised PFC so-and-so, headquarters and headquarters company, 37th BEB, 2nd Brigade, Combat Team, 82nd Airborne Division, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, found PB2 Smither and conducted an initial check for pulse and breathing. However, no signs of life were evident. My question is, why were they checking for pulse? Because let me tell you, when you get down into the rest of this report, when they talk about entering the room, they basically there's no reason for them to have. I mean, he was putrefied and he was mummified. So for them to check for pulse is really kind of funny because you can see already that they're doctoring this. You see. Members of the emergency medical services of Fort Bragg, North Carolina, attempted life-saving measures, which met negative results. I wonder what life-saving measures that they did on a body that was putrefied and mummified. Anyone? Anyone? Anyone know? Well, here we go. PB2 Smither was pronounced deceased at 15:02, the 21st of January, by Dr. Redaction, Womack Army Medical Center. And so that's about 3:02 p.m. So that's in the afternoon on the 21st. I really need to print out a calendar so I could show you guys what the days were there. Interviews with PB2 Smither command team and unit members determined on 9th of January 2000, PB2 Smither suffered a head injury when he struck his head on an unspecified object while he worked as a medical mechanic for the unit. So an unspecified object. Okay, we know that it was a deuce. We know that it was, we know what it was. So I don't know, it was a radiator of a deuce. So I don't know why they're saying that it was an unspecified object. That's so ridiculous. While he worked as a mechanic for the unit, PB2 Smither was seen at the emergency room, the Womack Medical Center, on multiple occasions, wherein he reported suffering from extreme migraines and was prescribed medications to alleviate the pain and placed on quarters for a week. Notice that it says for a week. Placed on quarters for a week. It says it right there. I mean, like, let me see here. I have this document that I'm like, yeah, quarters. Placed on quarters for a week. That is page 5. Yeah, okay. Paragraph 3. Yes. Placed on quarters for a week. I'm going to highlight that a little bit more. Placed quarters for a week. Because later on, they say he was put on quarters, and then it was more like he was placed on quarters for like 24 hours. It said 24-hour quarters. So they can't get anything straight in here. Number 1. Okay, look, there's some of the redactions. Hi, Smokey. My cats. An autopsy conducted by the Armed Forces Medical Examiner, System Building 115, Purple Heart Drive, Dover Air Force Base, determined that PB2 Smither's cause of death was acute bacterial meningitis, and the manner of death was natural. Further, an examination of the head revealed no skull fractures or injury to the scalp from PB2 Smither's previous head injury. And let me just say that they're wrong on the date. There's some mention by Lieutenant Orr that Caleb hit his head on the 13th, and they're saying that he hit his head on the 9th. I don't know what they're really trying to do here, but except for show that they're like inaccurate and they don't really know what they're talking about. Because I also remember seeing a message from Caleb on the 13th saying that he hit his head, and his friends also remember a photograph, a Snapchat that he did on the 13th of him with these night vision goggles on, and had said that he had hit his head and he had a concussion. So I believe that the date itself of January 9th is incorrect. I believe that he hit his head on the 13th of January. And I think it does matter. I think dates and times matter. And the fact that he was found in the afternoon on the 21st, which was the first day back at work, it was a Tuesday, because Monday was Martin Luther King holiday. And anyway, his sergeant waited until the middle of the afternoon to go check on him to see if he was even alive, or what was going on with him. They knew he'd missed and you'll see in here, they knew that he had missed an appointment. They knew that he had missed a medical appointment at the Womack Medical Center. They knew that he had missed morning PT information, and he didn't show up to work. And then, so like, why didn't they go check on him right away? Even though they should have checked on him like days before. I mean, God. Okay, so continuing on here. Sorry. I'm trying to stay focused. It says that legal coordination, this is not a prosecutorial decision for the purpose of the fingerprint card submission. I don't know, it just says, it gives all these numbers and blah, blah, blah. It just says Captain's redaction, trial counsel, 2nd Brigade Combat Team, conducted a legal review and concurred with the autopsy findings. No additional investigative efforts are required. There is sufficient evidence to prove to command for consideration of action. And I think that that is ridiculous, because in here, as I begin to read this to you, like, he's basing that on the autopsy alone, it says. Conducted legal review and concurred with the autopsy findings. No additional investigation. But he didn't read the rest of this CID report? Because there's way more in here that tells me that maybe there is more investigation that needs to be done. This is sloppy, you guys. I mean, like, anyone that can just read and understand the English language will just be baffled as they read through this. Okay, page 6. Basically, this page 6 is, it says subject, law enforcement report, first corrected, final. I mean, it gives the date of corrected final. Exhibits, gives all the different exhibits, all the sworn statements, the sketches that were prepared. So I'll just go down the list. Number 1, agent's investigation report on January the 20th. Canvas interview worksheets, 21st of January 2020. DVD containing interview of specialist so-and-so. See, like, why can't I see that? I want to see that interview with specialist redaction. It says that was done on the 21st of January. And which specialist, you know? At least they could have left me some sort of key, you know? Specialist A, Specialist B, Specialist C, so that you can see who is talking. They just put specialist redaction on there and leave it at that, or colonel redaction. So the timeline prepared by specialist so-and-so, the 21st of January. DVD containing interview of PFC so-and-so. I want that. Why can't I have it on the 21st of January? I understand that they told me that I can't, that there's some whatever law prohibiting me from having the information that I'm asking for about, you know, the identification. It says that, you know, because of, you know, these exemptions, that they can withhold these names. Number 7, sketch prepared by PFC so-and-so, 21st of January. Sketch prepared by PFC so-and-so. This is another one. 8. Number 8. Number 9, sworn statement, CPT, captain, redaction on the 21st of January. Number 10, sworn statement of first sergeant, redaction. Number 11, death scene, heir of Sergeant redaction. What is that? I want to understand that. Number 12, photographic packet, the death scene. I want to see it in color. DVD containing all original images associated with Exhibit 12. That's what I want. It says a DVD containing all original images. A DVD containing all original images. So I think they just gave me, I think what they gave me is the 13. And I'm sorry, the 12, and I want the 13. Exhibit 13. I'm gonna have to, I guess, do a FOIA to get that. Exhibit. I want exhibit number 13, which is a DVD containing all original images of the death scene. Death scene packet. Number 14, sketch prepared by Sergeant Redaction. They did give me the DVD containing the voicemail. That I did get this. Number 19, but let me go through number 15 first. 15 is the SD card containing the Faro scene to go. I don't know what that is. Number 16, I don't know what that is. Number 15. Number 16, copy of evidence property custody document. Document number DN 49-20. I want to know what was on that custody document of the property. What is it? What was on? Because there's some things that I never did get back. They only gave me back his phone, but it's just a hunk of plastic and metal. Number 17, copy of the EPCD, which I don't know what that is, but I'll read that again. 18, heir of Sergeant Redaction. Number 19, DVD containing voicemail from PB2 Smither, and I have heard that voicemail, and it is absolutely horrifying. I listened to that voicemail and I cried my head off. I did get that one. Number 20, or I guess what I'm trying to say is exhibit number 20, copy of the EPCD. Number 21, key logs of room C318, which I need to make sure that I have that. I'm gonna have to go through all these exhibits again. Exhibit 22, DVD containing interview of specialist redaction. And of course, I don't have that. Exhibit 23, Fort Bragg Fire and Emergency Service Run Sheet. Exhibit 24, Sworn Statement of PFC Redaction. Exhibit 25, Sworn Statement of PFC Redaction. Or, I'm sorry, Specialist Redaction. So I said PFC. Let me start over. Exhibit 24, Sworn Statement of Specialist Redaction. Exhibit 25, Sworn Statement of Specialist Redaction. And these are different specialists, of course. Exhibit 26, Sworn Statement of SFC. That's Sergeant First Class Redaction. Exhibit 27, Timeline prepared by Sergeant First Class Redaction. Exhibit 28, Sworn Statement, PB2 Redaction. Exhibit 29, Sworn Statement, SPC, Specialist Redaction. Exhibit 30, CD containing CAT scan. I still don't have this. I want this. It's a CD containing my son's CAT scan. I need to see this. Because when I read that the CAT scan noticed swelling in his sinuses, and that is a dead giveaway for acute bacterial meningitis. It's bizarre to me why they didn't catch it. It's a very good question, what he said. He screamed, and he was crying, and it was agony. It was a cry of agony. And I waited to listen to that with my counselor because I didn't know what I was going to hear. You cannot make out anything that he's saying, but you can hear the pain in his voice. And it is awful. I did not have a civilian autopsy, and I regret that, sister. Yeah, I mean, there's so much I want to say about that. Well, what I want to say about that is it's really hard to ride the wave of a soldier death. There's a lot of people in your face, and a lot of emotion, and a lot of just confusion, and just like they try to bamboozle you with these bells and whistles, and I think I regret not pushing for an outside autopsy, but they told me a whole week later, after he had already died, that his body was too decomposed to be viewable at his funeral. And so that threw me for such a different a tailspin. Actually, I didn't understand how in the world that his body couldn't be viewed. I mean, that didn't even make sense to me. I regret not having an outside autopsy done. First thing. But, you know, he was wrapped in plastic, a body bag. And then on top of that, he was wrapped in wool and pinned properly to specifications by the Army when they sent him home. And he had laid on top of him his uniform, and it just seemed, I was so horrified by what I was seeing that it felt like I didn't want to desecrate his body anymore. Like I didn't want to. I didn't realize how important it would have been until later, probably about maybe 3-4 months later. I realized. It might have been longer than that. It might have been more like 6 months later. I began to realize, like, this, I should have and I could have done this. But I think the other thing is there's a lot of intimidation that goes along with all of this. So it's a game in a lot of ways. Exhibit 31. The CD containing this CAT scan, which I still don't have. And Exhibit 32, the radiologic examination report pertaining to PVD Smither. I don't have that. Exhibit 33, Fort Bragg Emergency Medical Service Run Sheet. Exhibit 34, Search and Seizure Affidavit and Authorization of PVD Smither's cell phone, which they never even sent out. What happened is they changed CID investigators is what they did. And then they never sent that request sheet out to unlock Caleb's phone. And we still cannot get into his phone. Exhibit 36, Air Sergeant Redaction. Exhibit 37, DVD containing 911 call. I'd like to hear that. Exhibit 38, copy of transcript of the 911 call. I wonder, I need to look and see, make sure that I have that. There's a couple things. I just need to double check every time. I guess I need to flag this one again. Just make sure that I don't miss a thing. It's sad. I'm gonna miss a thing here. Exhibit 39, copy of medical records pertaining to PVD Smither. It says 9th of December. th through the 21st of January 20. Heir of Sergeant Redaction. Exhibit 41, Heir of Sergeant Redaction, another sergeant. Exhibit 42, CD containing autopsy photos. Okay, I do have that. I do have have the CD that contains the autopsy photos. Exhibit 43, timeline prepared by Sergeant Redaction. Exhibit 44, error of Sergeant Redaction. Exhibit 45, copy of autopsy report. Exhibit 46, error of Sergeant Redaction. 47, error of Sergeant Redaction. Page 9. Unclassified, see, it says, number 48, copy of the vaccine administration record pertaining to BPD Smither on the 31st of May, 2019 to the 10th of January of 20. So, copy of vaccine administration. I'm going to have to look and see if they sent that, because I don't remember reading about that. Commanders are reminded of provisions of AR 680-82 pertaining to suspension of favorable personnel actions and AR 380-67 for incident reporting of credible derogatory information, non-discreditory, and consideration of the suspension of security clearances of persons under investigation. Army law enforcement reports are exempt from automatic termination of protective markings. Gives some chapters and numbers and blah blah blah. Information containing in this report is law enforcement sensitive, confidential, and private in nature, and any further distribution blah blah blah. Here I am distributing it up. This is mine. This is all I have left of what I understand. It's like a threat not to share the information. Is that what they're trying to do? Anyway, let's see here. All right. A lot of the question I have is, what were the life-saving measures that were used on my son? Because it doesn't seem to me that he needed any life-saving measures, because if he was mummified and putrefied, then why did they say that? It says right here on page 5, here, it says that they found him and conducted an initial check for pulse and breathing. There's no way. He was mummified and putrefied. However, no signs of life were evident. Members of the Emergency Medical Services, EMS, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, attempted life-saving measures. What were they? Which met negative results. I just want to know what those life-saving measures were. How did that, what did that look like? I mean, really? You're gonna do mouth to mouth? I mean, I've seen the pictures. You're gonna do mouth to mouth on a corpse that's putrefying and mummifying, past rigor mortis stage. It's in the 5th stage of decomposition. They're spraying Febreze in the room just to cover up the smell of his dead body. We'll read it. We're through page 10, guys. We hit page 10. But what I wanted to say is I'm very grateful to be able to do these little readings of Caleb's investigation. And I'm I'm going to be doing these as often as I can. I'm going to try my hardest to make a video to let everyone know when I'm going to be on, so that people are prepared. But that's just the basic. That's page 1 through 10. We will continue to read as the days go by. But yay, we made it through the first 10 pages, and I think that's success. I feel good. Now I can maybe sleep a little better tonight. Catherine, how are you? I see you on here, sweetheart. I love you. Catherine was Caleb's girlfriend. And he loves you. And I love you. And I know that we all miss him. And it's my goal and my ambition to make sure that Caleb gets justice, but more importantly, that our soldiers are safe on their own territory. We want to protect our protectors. And I believe that's why I'm here on this planet at this point. A death like this really changes you. And it's really hard just to be normal again, whatever that is anyway, right? But it's just hard to fit in unless you have people that you can identify with, relate to. So that's why I'm very grateful for you, Catherine. I'm very grateful for so many of Caleb's friends and the people that he loved that have surrounded me and put their arms around me. We are going to continue fighting for justice for Caleb's life, and we are going to continue to speak out about non-combat deaths in the military. I'm working with another Gold Star mother, Terry Caserta, of the Brandon Act, and Army veteran Kimberly Walker, who the three of us are together forming a podcast called Locked and Loaded Diaries. Yep, Locked and Loaded Diaries. And our goal, our mission is to bring awareness, to educate, and to speak out, to allow Gold Star families and veterans who would like to speak out a platform. It seems as though the DoD does not want a blemish on their image. And so it's very difficult to get journalists to cover our stories. There have been journalists that have lost their jobs, and I think that anyone that goes to try to investigate some of these deaths, their careers are in jeopardy. And so this is all I want to do. So I might as well provide that opportunity for other Gold Star families to be able to speak. It's so much effort. It takes so much effort just to get your voice out there. And we need our Gold Star families that have lost their loved ones under these mysterious circumstances to rise up with us. We are on here under Locked and Loaded Diaries, and I would love it if you guys would follow us. We have our first episode our first podcast that's coming out on January the 1st. We're releasing it, and so we've already recorded it, and so we're just working on putting all the edits and intro and outro and all that stuff in there. And then on January 1st, we will be releasing that to you guys and to on all of our platforms. We have we're on Instagram and on TikTok, on Facebook, and Twitter. Whatever else we can be on, we'll be on at YouTube. So it's Locked and Loaded Diaries, and we also have a website, lockedandloadeddiaries.com. So go check it out. So anyway, I'm just going to be reading Caleb's reports so that I can process this some more, so that I can work on Caleb's website. It's definitely an act of love, and I really appreciate you guys listening, because it helps me to have somebody sit next to me while I'm reading this investigation. So I will see you guys very soon again. We'll be reading probably tomorrow. We'll be reading some more of this ridiculous investigation. It's like a circus. It's ridiculous. So I love you guys so much, and thank you guys so much for lending me your ear. It really does. It helps me to have you sit next to me, and gives me a lot of strength. And so I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday, and I hope that you have a great new year. Like I said, I'll be on tomorrow. I'll be reading some more of this investigation. I just want to see if there's anybody that has any questions. Yes, thank you, Josh. Oh, thank you for the roses. Sneaky. So yeah, I'm getting kind of tired right now, I think. It's been a long day. But I'm going to go ahead and post this on YouTube under PV2, Caleb Smither. He has his own YouTube channel, and we'll be posting it there. And then I will also be posting it on his... Hey, Jonathan! I'll also be posting it on his website. Oh my goodness. I love you guys so much. I'm going to get out of here for now. But I will see you guys later. And I just wanted to say, God bless America, and liberty and justice for all. Over and out.